This video is perfect for you if you have decided that 2024 is the year that you are going to transition your career or start a business or something that feels so much better for your soul. I'm starting to call it your soul aligned work because that's really what it is. Okay, so what I'm going to share in this video today is going to be 10 things I learned. I transitioned myself from being a CPA in the corporate world, climbing the corporate ladder, looking very successful on paper. However, my soul was dying on the inside. That's really how I felt. And I transitioned to what I do now. And it's been a beautiful and wonderful and incredible journey. And I want to share 10 things I learned. So if you're looking at next year and going, yeah, this is the year, I'm doing it, I'm up for it, watch this video because I'm going to give you a lot of tips and things to look out for, because here's part of this. I want you to avoid some of the mistakes I did, maybe some of the things that are holding you back, okay? Second thing is, in this video, as you watch this, please, please, please know there's no judgment in anything that I say here if you find yourself making some of the mistakes. The reason I'm sharing all these mistakes is because I've done them and they're really easy to do. A lot of people do them. So first of all, I hope you certainly don't feel any judgment from me ever, because that's not the place where I come from. But also, I would encourage you, if you find yourself triggered, just sit with it, but don't judge yourself. You know, we've really been taught in this society to judge ourselves, and it is not serving us. Because you know what? When you are judging what's happened with yourself, where you've been, the journey you've been on, you basically stay stuck. Being in judgment is like being on a dead end street or going down a dead end street. Like, you're not going to go anywhere. Judging keeps you stuck. So we learn from it, we grow, we have compassion. And the third thing I want to mention is this is going to be rapid fire. So I could have probably done an hour video on this, but I really wanted to create this just a bite-sized piece for you to really get a sense of some of the things in case there are things that you're being tripped up with, okay? So rapid fire means I'm going to be pretty blunt because I don't want to take up too much time and I need to use as few words as possible, okay? So here we go. Number one. Your soul-aligned career should actually bring you back to you. If you find yourself trying to fit in right now, you are in the wrong career, the wrong company, or the wrong job. The longer I do this work and the longer I'm distanced from my career as a CPA, the more connected I am to myself, the more I understand myself, and there's just deeper versions of me. So when you're doing soul-aligned work, really it's connecting you back to you. Number two, people give their power away to money constantly, and that's why most people don't make a change. Money is important, 100%. We absolutely need money as a society, but if you find yourself staying stuck in a job or a career because of money, you have given your power away to money. Unfortunately, as a society, we've been taught to do that, right? And a lot of times, it's really interesting as I look back, is that we will often judge companies that put profits first. They put money first, yet by actually staying somewhere and doing something that you hate because of money, you're actually putting money first. Money is important, 100%. But look at why you stay for the money, because underneath that, there is a belief that you can't make money doing something else. So there's something deeper going on. Number three, you will never ever be ready to make the switch. We kind of hope, oh, once I do this, once this gets ironed out of my life, or once this happens, or once I do this, I'll be ready to do it. It's never going to happen. You know, and unless you've got something really particular, like in 3 months in my business or, you know, my company, I'm going to get a bonus. And once I get that bonus, then I'm going to actually invest and then move forward. Something like that's a bit different. But when we find ourselves continually waiting, or when this happens, I'll do it. When this happens, I do it. Those are just stall tactics, and you'll never actually take steps forward. Number four, people really, really focus on the risk of making a change. However, they completely negate the risk of staying where you are. Because here's what's happened when people are not happy in their careers, it affects their health. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritual, it affects every area of their life, and it gets worse and worse and worse. There is a large risk of you staying somewhere where you are not happy, yet people tend to gloss over that and only look at the risk of actually making a change. Number five, the fear will never go away. There'll never be a moment where you're like, oh yeah, I got this. Like, that just doesn't happen. Like, you have to feel the fear and literally do it anyway. Enough said. Okay, number six, it is damn near impossible to do this by yourself. I don't know anybody who does this by yourself, whether it's a mentor, it's a coach, it's some sort of guidance. And there's a reason why we need help, is because if you're trying to find a soul-aligned career and trying to transition to it and do all the things you need to do, there's things you don't know. Well, if there's things you don't know, how are you going to know them? Support, help, people, have someone who can see your blind spots, who can show you what you're not seeing. Super, super important. Okay, number 7. There is an aspect in doing this that there needs to be some humility. Like, you have to be a little bit humble about this, because let's face it, if you've been in your career for 20 years, say, you're an expert probably. Like, I was an expert as a CPA. However, moving into the coaching field, I was not an expert in creating film, going on camera, doing all these things, going on social media, doing marketing. I felt like an idiot, right? Like, I really did. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I know nothing about this. And you got to be okay with that. Like, honestly, there has to be a level of humility. I'm a beginner, and that's okay. Number 8, everything that's happened to you so far in your life is actually taking you to this moment. What we often do as humans is we take our history and we use it against us. It's like, oh, I can't have this because this happened, or I can't have this because this has been my history and this is how life has gone. However, when you do soul-aligned work, it's the most beautiful thing that happens. Is actually everything that's happened to you is what you needed, is actually what you needed to actually make this change. You are going to utilize all the wisdom, all the things you learned, all the beliefs, the mindset, all those things you actually gained through some of those challenging times. You're going to actually use them and leverage the crap out of them. Okay, super important. Number 9, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have like a dream, a goal, and you aren't firmly anchored in that, when you hit a rough patch, and you will, okay, it's not if, it's when you hit a rough patch and you feel stuck and you feel uncertain what to do, if you don't actually have a vision and you don't feel firmly grounded in that, you are not going to move forward. It's quite simple. I've seen a lot of people do this. They kind of go into it, but they don't fully embrace that vision for whatever reason. They don't give themselves permission to do that. And as soon as they hit a road bump, they're out, right? Because they're just not firmly, landed. And then what happens is, 6 months, a year later, they're like, oh my gosh, and they're unhappy again. And the cycle can go on and on and on because they fully haven't really grounded that vision, that dream, that goal. Okay. Number 10, the final one for today is you need to know what to do. So if you're making a career change, you absolutely need to know what to do, what steps to take. However, what you also need to know is what you're going to do when you hit the bumps, okay? So even if you've decided you've got this great vision and you've got a goal and you're ready to move forward, if you don't know how to respond and how to deal when you hit a road bump, you will never get there, okay? Because what I see is often when people get stuck, they can spend months, and literally months or years staying stuck, okay? And this is what stops people. It's not always what to do, but a lot of it is what to do when you're stuck. You have to be able to get out of that stuck spot. You need the tools, the strategy. You need to have a plan for when you get stuck. I've actually been told by a few different people that I move through things really quickly. And I do. When I'm stuck, I know, okay, what do I need to do right now? Do I need to talk to somebody? Do I just need maybe a break just to pull back out, go into nature? Do I need to journal? Do I need to listen to, I don't know, something like a motivational speaker? Do I need to meditate? Like, I've got a list of everything, all these different tools of what I can do when I get stuck. And so I don't stay stuck. Like, it literally can be a half an hour, it could be a day. Like, I don't stay stuck. This is a big part in being successful, is knowing when you're stuck and then knowing how to move through that. Okay, so there you go. There you have it. 10 things I have learned. I hope this is super helpful for you. I'd love to hear down below if there's one of them that you was like, oh my gosh, that landed with me, girl. Like, I feel it. I'm doing that. Or, or if you need to ask me a question about how to move through some of these things, I'm here for it. And also, if you are looking at 2024 and you're going, yes, it is time. I do have a promotion until December 31st of this year, where if you do sign up with one of my signature programs, you get one free 60-minute coaching session tagged onto that program. So that's available until December 31st, 2023.